The last question that we got was around career planning. And again, I think people are thinking about this. Heck, they think about this every year. And my experience has been that many times we bundle our own career planning in with the needs of our organization. And sometimes that may not serve us. This person asked, what if you don't know where you want your career to be in 5 years? How do you figure that out, Erica?
Well, it's interesting because being in the business analysis profession, you are in a unique position to help yourself, right? So put on your BA hat and get into discovery mode. What are all the different options that exist? So block out some time to just uncover and think about all the different, job titles, what everyone's doing, what roles now exist in, at this point, and really take some time to really discover all of that. Then do some more requirements gathering, identify folks in your network, at your organization, involved in your local chapter, involved in other groups, just part of your LinkedIn network, figure out who does that now, pick their brain for 10 or 15 minutes and just learn more about what that role means, how they got into it, what they appreciate about it, how it's different from the role they were doing before. I'm a huge fan of SWOT analysis. We talk a lot about that in terms of career mapping and identifying, based on where you want to go, just doing a SWOT analysis. And then it's learning, right? So take, 5 different, types of jobs, figure out what, skills go into that, and spend 1 hour a week, learning more, taking an online course and figuring out like what was the most appealing to you out of that. And then the last piece is try to do a little bit of it, whether that's, proposing a small project at work, whether that's, again, going and helping a nonprofit with something or starting your own little passion project about something. Just do a small engagement that exercises those skills.
One of the tools that IIBA members have access to is something we call the Career Action Guide. And it's interesting because I refer to that as using business analysis on yourself to develop your own career. And it is a 5-step guide. And it is basically the framework that you just described. And we've got that on our website. It's built around our business analysis competency model. So it helps you to understand where you are and where you can go with your career. We've also got other resources out there. We've got a pretty awesome specialization. We call it the spoke model, but it's all of the specializations and the job titles in those. And I think that can help people to understand what are the job titles for the kinds of roles that I would like to. But I like that idea of talking to people So I think there's also a plug in there for use your network when you're thinking about building that plan. So thinking about career planning, 5 years, any other thoughts on what people could be doing?
Yeah, so the thing I want to point out is it's okay if you don't know where you want your career to be in 5 years. I always try to think of it as, you have short-term goals, which I personally look at as less than a year. So maybe quarterly goals, months, and then long-term goals. So it's really, things could change dramatically for you in a few years. So 5 years is a very long time, especially in the tech world. So, again, just know that it's okay. I always tell people, think about what you're good at, think about what you enjoy, and also what is your value proposition? Is there or are there unique ways that you provide value to your team, to your organization that nobody else does or that you really enjoy? Because ultimately, I think we all want to find joy and happiness in the work that we do. So if there's a way to focus on those things that you're good at and provide value, that will ultimately lead you down a good path.
Yeah, that's great advice. And I do think it's good to remember that things change in 5 years. But if you have an idea that where you want to go, it can certainly be easier to get there, even if you've got to take detours and reroute because things happen.
One point I want to add on the job titles and part of the discovery is take a seasoned recruiter who supports business analysts and take a minute to ask them, hey, what are the new job titles you're hearing about now that you did not know about a couple years ago? And they can be such a great source to tell you, here's the new job titles that companies are hiring for in new skill sets.
And that's really great advice, because what I hear from our members is that, well, my company doesn't have this title anymore, but I don't really know what I should be looking for. If I'm job hunting, maybe I shouldn't be looking for that job title. So I think, again, talking to your recruiter, talking to your job coach, they can help you identify those terms so that you are doing your job search on something that's going to be fruitful.